Hey, what's going on guys, WikiTV1 here, and in today's video I'll talk about a new update that came to Black Ops 3 just today. So this update is only for Xbox One and PlayStation 4 users, so PC users may get it very soon, and for last gen users I honestly could not see this patch happening. I'll be honest with you, I don't think last gen users will get many patches, if like any at all, so definitely watch out for that. But so in this patch is just primarily focused on nerfs and buffs to certain weapons. So if you guys didn't know, David Von Hart actually put this on Reddit just today, but what he didn't actually put though is how these guns have been nerfed and buffed. He just put a list of names of what guns have been nerfed and what guns have been buffed. So we can't really say for sure what kind of things have been nerfed and buffed. But David Von Hart did state in the Reddit tweet that it's going to be just some very small changes, like editing the clip size to damage, ranges, ADS times, and a few more other things. So yeah, so that's about it guys. Again, we don't know the exact details on how these have been nerfed and buffed, but so you know, these guns have changed with this new update. So first off, I'm going to talk about what has been nerfed. So the big really cool gun that's been nerfed is actually the Gorgon, which I'm so glad for. I made a video about it. The gun is so OP, so I'm really glad it's been nerfed. It's probably the I honestly think the range or the damage has been nerfed. Possibly the ADS time, I don't know, because I really wanted to. I just played one game of the Gorgon just now, and I genuinely can't tell much of a difference with it. But I do believe it. I do believe it's range that has been nerfed. So definitely watch out for that. Still an OP gun with this new update, but at least it's been nerfed very slightly. But next up is the XR2. So the XR2, I honestly did not think it needed to be nerfed really. I mean, the M8A7 is I guess, you know, David Von Hart wants this gun to be kind of like more like the M8A7, but I thought XR2 was, you know, a pretty kind of, yeah, it was slightly overpowered weapon, but I definitely don't think it needed that much of a nerf. But again, these are only small edits, so I don't think much would be affected by this. But the next gun that has been nerfed is the Pharaoh. So the Pharaoh is the new gun in Black Ops 3. We didn't actually see it in the beta, and it's a 4-round burst SMG, kind of like the Chicom in my opinion. Definitely a very cool gun. Honestly, I have not tried it much, so I can't say how this gun has been nerfed, but it definitely has been nerfed in some way, shape, or form. I honestly think it's going to be somewhat to do with the burst time or the burst delay. Again, I'm not too sure about that one. But the next one is the VMP. So the VMP is an absolute melt machine, and so it has had a slight nerf. Again, we don't know how this has been nerfed, but definitely I honestly think it does deserve a nerf. It's kind of one of the really better submachine guns at close range, but definitely very good. But definitely kind of deserves a nerf. It was a really OP at like close ranges. He just absolutely melted people. But yeah, so the last gun that has actually been nerfed is the Haymaker, which you guys know is the fully automatic shotgun. Again, we have honestly no idea on how these guns have been nerfed and buffs. We'll just have to wait for people to try them out. But I just want to list to you guys what guns have of course been nerfed and buffed. So yeah, those are the weapons that have been nerfed: the Gorgon, XR2, Pharaoh, VMP, and Haymaker. So now let's go on to the guns that have been buffed, and the big one is the Razorback. So as you guys know, the Razorback on the beta was absolutely OP, everyone used it, and now on the game when it come out in November, it's kind of trash in my opinion. I picked up a few times. It kind of seemed awful to me. It really changed a lot. So I'm definitely glad it has been buffed. It really got the nerf hammer quite a lot. So yeah, it definitely does deserve a buff, and I'm really happy for that. Again, it could more than likely be range. I think it's gonna be that kind of buff, but again, who knows. So next weapon is the HVK-30. So I honestly don't believe the HVK-30 needed to be buffed. I thought it was a great gun by itself. I don't see what Treyarch were thinking about when they wanted to buff this weapon, but probably it's just gonna be a small and minor change to the weapon. Again, who knows. I've actually just had a quick look at all these guns, and I actually cannot find one that has a increased clip size. So again, we don't know about that. So the next one is the Dingo, which you guys know is an LMG. Again, I do believe the Dingo needed to be buffed slightly, because of course the Gorgon was really overpowerful, and it, you know, didn't really leave a lot of room for the Dingo to be used. So I'm really glad that has been nerfed. The next gun, and I honestly think this needs to be buffed so much, is the KRM-262. So I'm really happy that this has been buffed, because I really want to use shotguns. It really reminded me of the Remington in the beta, but as I played it on the the game in November, it just did not seem as good. So I'm really happy for that. I felt that was really cool. But definitely going to be something like a range buff or maybe a fire rate buff, who knows really. But yeah, the next one is the Argus. So I honestly, this is the one I don't actually believe needed to be buffed at all, to be honest. I thought it was a great weapon by itself. He just kind of really reminded me of the KSG from Black Ops 2. So it was a very good weapon, very good range, and I Can't see how this has been buffed really. It could be a range, could be a damage, it could be a fire rate, because it does have kind of a slow fire rate in my opinion, so it could possibly be that. But again, these are only minor changes. It's going to be very hard to test, and I will honestly wait for a few days to see, like, you know, some of the people's testing these new buffs out, so really watch out for that. But the last and final gun to be buffed is the Locus sniper rifle, which I'm so glad this has been buffed. I hope it's some damage buff, because honestly, that gun is an absolute hit marker machine. It was just, I can't understand how much it hit markers on Black Ops 3, so I'm really happy. It's more than likely going to be a damage buff again. Who knows, really? It could be a fire rate, could be clip size, ADS time, who really knows. But I really hope they increase the damage, and I think it's more than likely going to do that, because I think, again, the gun's an absolute hit marker machine and really needs to be buffed, so I'm really glad about that. So yeah, that's our first weapon update for Black Ops 3. It's absolutely crazy that the game has only been out for a week, and we've already got, well, let's see, we've already got like 10 guns that have been nerfed and buffed, so I'm really happy that Trug has been obviously kind of fine-tune the weapons, and I hope they do this to more guns, because of course there's still probably going to be guns that, you know, overpowered. So I'm really happy this has actually happened again for Xbox One and PlayStation 4 users. It's actually been released today, so that's obviously really cool. Again, probably won't be able to see this in the last generation version of consoles, and I would honestly expect to see this soon in the PC. So yeah, that's about it for the video, guys. If you did like the video, hit that like button, that would be greatly appreciated, and I'd just like to say thanks for watching.